All right, everybody. Well, we are live. Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's going to be Middle of the Earth Podcast, Morning Crypto with a Kid, coming at you live. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's been a pretty solid little start to the weekend so far for us here. You know, nothing major, but been working hard. I've got a couple things I'm really kind of trying to get going for the next month. And actually, you know what? I think I can actually show a couple of those things. So, real quick, if you guys are going to be in the Atlanta area, let's see, Atlanta meetup, crypto meetup. Maybe I don't have it saved under here. The Atlanta blockchain. There you guys go. If you guys are going to be in the Atlanta area next month, I would love for you all to stop by. We're going to be hosting an event here in Atlanta for Tron, actually. Tron's going to be coming into town, giving a couple little talks at universities, and then they want to do a social networking event later on that night. So keep an eye out for September 24th. We're going to be locking up all the details here shortly, but it does look like we've got something tentative set. I really hope I can see all you guys there for sure. It's going to be a great time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the crypto news. This morning, what I want to talk about is going to be what's on the menu the last couple days. Wink, TronBet. You guys know it. You guys, I've explained a little bit what's going on. They listed on Binance. It does look like support's building in that 3 Satoshi range. Excuse me, buddy. They did list on some other TRC20 token exchanges like Tron Trade, so we're going to check that out. It's trading against their TRX, so I kind of feel like it's a little bit better to trade against WIN right now because one, there's liquidity, against TRX because one, there's liquidity, and two, it's a big spread. 1 Satoshi is a huge spread, whereas if I can get in here and I can get a much smaller point, it just allows me to get the best price I think possible right now. So, I saw it on KuCoin as well. I call it KuCoin. People call it KuCoin. I don't know what the best way to pronounce it is, but I did see it on KuCoin as well. It looked to be trading right at 3.5 Satoshi. There they did allow you, I think, to trade into that Satoshi realm. So let's see if we can find where we at. Top gainers, maybe top losers in. Let's see if we can find WIN, WIN, view all pairs, huh? Ooh, TRX is getting his butt whooped still. Man, I mean, I saw somebody 2 nights ago say that they were shorting TRX right now. They were long Bitcoin, short TRX. And that was when Bitcoin was 10.2, 10.3, and TRX was 2.30. And I even said, dude, you're shorting into historical support. That is a bold move. The dude was right. I went back this morning and I had to tell him, I was like, man, you were right. Ballsy call, but congrats. I actually went on, let me see if I can find his Twitter real fast, just while I got it here. I think his name is Luke Martin. Venture capitalist might be what his call thing is, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. Let's take a look. Right here, yeah, Luke Martin, venture coinist. That's what it was. But, you can see it right here. This was his message. Short TRX, long BTC. Dude, ballsy. Well done. I couldn't, I wouldn't have done it at that point because you can see right here, I think it was 220. That's a ballsy short right there. And he longed at 10K. Had I followed that, man, we'd be sitting pretty right now. I can say that at least. So, that's one of those situations where it is what it is. But I'm keeping my eye closely on this WIN token. I do want to get out of it right now. I feel like the price is going to go lower a little bit. I saw Justin. I saw the supposed phone call that he posted with Soon regarding the idea that they're going to want to burn. I think that I think that that's in place because it didn't go the way they wanted it to. There's no volume on the launch. It's been a difficult transition for them in the last couple of days anyway. And I think this is what they're going to have to do to try to, right here, burn. I think this is their attempt at pivoting, crap. It didn't work that well. Let's come up with something else, guys. That's kind of what I'm reading into that situation. So let's go ahead and jump right into crypto news in the morning. I know we had a little delay, but the kid is excited. He's looking at everything. He's wanting to go. First things first, I did see something about Coinbase going ahead and taking custody for Grayscale's investments. Right there, $2.7 billion in crypto assets will now be held by Coinbase custody. Why is that important? Okay, for 2 reasons. One, custody is going to be a big issue in the future with these large institutional players. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to want to risk billions of dollars with simple mistakes. Okay, and what do I mean by simple mistakes? I mean, incorrectly. I don't know. There's all right. Misplacing your private key, incorrectly writing down your private key, sending to the wrong address. Somehow, what are some other really common mistakes that people make in the beginning, when it comes to custody issues? I guess not saving properly your PKs, storing them in the same place. There's a couple just, maybe this is Grayscale's, version of saying, look, I don't want to have the issues. I don't want to have the headache. You guys store it for us. You obviously are storing billions of other client assets. That was an interesting factor to me. Are you excited, buddy? Are you? What was that? Okay. All right. So, I did see this. I don't really care about that too much. I guess we can take a look at what Stephen Bannon had to say. I did read that he was really tan in that interview too. I think it'd be a very important part moving forward, particularly in this global populist revolt. Echoing Trump, Bannon said the Federal Reserve's monetary policy has been too tight and that cryptocurrencies represent a meaningful alternative to fiat-based investments. When asked about Facebook's digital currency project Libra, Bannon said it will not find friends in the banking community. No joke, right? The central banks and actually the banking community wanted to get in and regulate crypto. They want to stick to fiat currency. Of course they do. But that was on Squawk Box yesterday with Joe Squawk. So I did see that, I think he's just saying what we already know. The banks are afraid of crypto. They want to get in there. They want to regulate it because they need to control it. So it's nothing that we didn't know, guys. I think that's kind of where it's at with that one. This is something that I keep coming back to this whole situation where I posted it on my Twitter last night because it's important. I mean, people don't really see inflation happen live. Like, we were kind of, I wouldn't say fortunate, but we were capable to watch what happened in Venezuela because that's just what happened live and we were able to see it. But look what's happening in Colombia. So this is kind of what I'm keeping my eye on the Colombian peso. I'm keeping my eye on the Brazilian real, keeping my eye on the Argentine peso. These are large, strong economies in Latin America that are currently suffering inflation. I went to Colombia 2015 with my wife. We stayed for 5 weeks, okay? When I arrived there, the price per peso price of peso per dollar was 2,500, 2,450 is what it was. That's why I changed it out at the, on the way down from the airport at the changing station on the street, right? 2,450, that's what I got. When I left 5 weeks later, it was 3,100, okay? That is a serious number. That's 20%, more than 20%, almost 30% inflation in 5 weeks. Now, it stabilized. It went back down to 3, went to 29, but it stayed in that 3K range, 3,000 pesos per dollar the whole time. Now, what happened is eventually the prices in the country caught up. So whereas it used to cost, 4,000 or 3,500 pesos for a good breakfast, a good lunch, now it's costing, 8,000, 7,500 pesos. So that's just an exact representation of how inflation occurs there. And what I think is going to happen is I think that we need one of these larger countries. Brazil is a big one. I mean, Brazil has a huge economy when it comes to their exports. They have a huge economy when it comes to their agricultural stuff. You have power with agriculture even if you don't have power with your currency, because you're in a position where you trade a lot and you can trade against the dollar, you can trade against whatever you want to do. But what happens when Brazil says, you know what? I'm tired of suffering hyperinflation. I'm tired of having to deal with America pumping their dollars up whenever they want. I'm going to go to China and I'm going to take all my shit to China and I'm going to base it in Bitcoin. And if China's like, you know what? Run it. We'll pay you in Bitcoin if you can guarantee us X amount of percent of your exports and not go to America. I mean, that's what I think is going to happen when these smaller countries need a leg up and are forced to either go through hyperinflation or convert to cryptocurrency. They're going to convert to cryptocurrency. And in countries like Venezuela Venezuela is not a strong economy. Okay, it wasn't a big powerhouse in Latin America, but they've led the revolutionary way when it comes to exiting a foreign currency into a cryptocurrency. They aren't that big though. Who's real big? Brazil's real big. Argentina's pretty big. Chile's pretty big. Uruguay's pretty big. If Brazil, I mean, that's going to be the one. I keep thinking Brazil's the one. Let's take a look at what they're doing, though. So crypto traders in Brazil now have to report their transactions to the National Treasury. The Department of Federal Revenue of Brazil published guidance regarding cryptocurrencies in May, stating transactions in excess of 30,000 Brazilian real, $7,600, must be reported to tax authorities. Let's just take a look at what the real is right now, because when I was there, now again, I was there a long time ago, so it was 3-1. All right, so real to dollar. I guess USD to real then, huh? 3.89. 3.89, guys. Okay. So again, let's put this in perspective. When I was there, it was 3. So 3, and this is Brazil. Brazil's a big, powerful economy. Let's get this up here. Okay. So 3.89. Let's call it 3.9 for making it easy for me. 0.9 increase from a 3.00 is 30%. 30% in just a few years. Take a look at this, guys. And this was, I mean, this a couple weeks ago was at 3.7. That's a big jump right here, and it's still continuing. I mean, this is just in the last 2 weeks. We're in this huge curve. Let's take a look at, you okay, puppy? Argentine peso, or USD to Argentine peso. Let's just take a look. To Argentine peso. Look at this. Okay, in 2 weeks' time, it's gone from 41.78. It actually bottomed at 41.50, and now, right now, we're at 44.5. So 41.50 in 2 weeks' time, guys. 2 weeks' time. I don't think people are realizing that the significance of that. Let's see if we can take a longer look. Let's look all year. Okay, this has got to be indicative for you guys. Look at this. It's nearly doubled in a year. In a year, it's nearly doubled. This is, oh man, that should show you all the perspective that you guys need to see. And this is the other crazy thing is like, people are like, wow, the dollar must be doing great. The dollar is doing, fuck no, we aren't, no. The dollar is so inflated and just poof, you know, like all it takes is one foreign country calling in a big amount of debt. Like that, saying, yo, I want my money. Hey, can you stop? I know. I think he's getting ready to start teething. I think he's going to start teething early, actually. So it's kind of odd for me, but okay, bud. And you getting. He's like, no, this isn't working for me, Poppy. All right, you stay here. It's the lights, man. These lights are warm. I got to figure out a way to get like lights that aren't as hot. So, you know, let me see if I have anybody here in the chat with me, because I did forget that I was live on Twitch. But okay, Poppy. Oh, you want to look at yourself now? He's like, can I look at myself over there, Dad? Well, here, let me see. I'll put it up. There you go, buddy. You see? Oh, now we're going to look at yourself. Let me just mute the volume so that way it doesn't over. All right. There you go, Pops. So, this is one of those situations, guys, where, you know, let's take a look. I'm going to pull up a couple of them. So, we'll go Real, USD to Bolivar. I mean, that's going to be too easy. But we'll just do that, okay? Look at that. They have like this own little thing. All right, so we'll go USD to Mexican peso. The Mexican peso, when I was in Mexico last, again, this is a little bit of a while, it was 13 pesos per dollar. And now it's 19. Again, that's actually pretty stable when I'm looking at the charts from, you know, in comparison to, you know, other places. That looks fine to me. That looks good. What another one? The soles. Soles used to be 3. Oh, look at this. In the last couple of days, it's ticked up too. I wonder why. Look at this, just like huge uptick in like the last couple of days only. I wonder what these big dips are for. It's always been around 3.3 actually for me. So this is stable too. Peru looks like they're good. So, you know, it's one of those situations, guys, where I think in the long term, Latin America is going to lead the way. And what up, Apostoli? How's everybody doing today? He's just like, where's the screen so funky at the bottom? Oh, it's because the shadows, huh? Oh, it's way funkier today than it was yesterday. Oh well. Is my delay good though? Do I have everything fixed there with the delay? Is that all working well and functioning? Oh, I can see right there was the green screen. Okay. How's that? Check, check, check. Let's do a little. I can't tell because I'm not listening to the audio, but you guys will let me know. Okay. Let's take a look at the wink divs real fast. Oh, man, I missed a bunch of golds. Oh, that would have been nice to check, huh? It is what it is, guys. Divs still looking solid. You know, I can't say anything about the divs. They're there. I'm just worried about the price action and what's going to be happening when, you know, in the next 24 hours when these things unfreeze. So that's all I'm worried about right now. This was not a very well organized podcast in the morning, but it's still, I'm just trying to stay consistent, guys. All right, I'm going to go get him changed, and I will be back on later on today, guys. Zero Attitude from Zero Latitude, Middle of the Earth podcast, crypto.